Very good evening to everybody and welcome to this next live stream. This is our live stream Saturday night in concert on Saturday the 5th of December. Thank you for joining us. This is Christopher Duigan coming to you from our home in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. It's December. It's a beautiful, beautiful day after many days of rain. The sun has finally come out and we're all smiles. And we're all smiles here because we have a really, really spectacular concert for you tonight. It's already 6 o'clock, so I'm going to dive straight into it. This evening I have two wonderful, amazing, incredible musicians to be playing with me this evening. We are going to be playing a trio by Antonín Dvořák, the Dumky trio, very wonderful work, really one of the gems of the repertoire for this combination. Two musicians who I've worked with regularly over many, many years. They are very well known in this part of the world. They're also very popular because they're so brilliant and so wonderful, such wonderful performers. So please welcome to join me on the live stream. This is my second guests. The first time I've had two guests on my live stream. It's really wonderful. Please
very
welcome.
Special. Thank you very much.
Great to have you. Ralitza Macheva and also Ralitza Pechoux. Very good. Two Ralitzas this evening. I can't forget the name. It's easy. And we've been playing together for some time as the trio Sofia. So we're named after that Sofia because Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria, and both Ralitza and Ralitza are from Bulgaria. So welcome both of you. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining me this evening.
Special treat.
It's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the music, but before we do that, I'd like to talk to our musicians and just to introduce them to you. How long you've come from, which part of actual Bulgaria are you from originally?
It's a part of our names that are the same. Ralitza, we both come from the same town, which is Pleven,
Right.
and it's north of Bulgaria. We both graduated at music school in Pleven, and then after that we both took different directions, studying overseas and in the music academy in Sofia. So yeah.
Okay. And what brought you to South Africa? I mean, I know that you play with the KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra. The KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra based in Durban has brought so many wonderful musicians to this part of the world. I mean, it's enriched our cultural heritage, you know, in South Africa incredibly. I mean, amazing musicians that we have. And there's also a very large contingent of musicians from your part of the world. Why is that? Is there...
It's beautiful to live here as a lifestyle. Personally, I really enjoy the South African lifestyle and warm weather.
Okay.
And apart that, really beautiful musicians to work with. Surprisingly, many people will think, it's down south, it's not as popular and busy like in Europe. But I don't think so. We have wonderful
life,
music scene and really diversity, which is something as a musician so important to know and to meet and to encounter different styles, Africa. And really
and do you think that once a number of your colleagues from your homeland came to this country, word spread and more people came? That's why I'm wondering, then there's a strong Bulgarian contingent in the orchestra. There's a lot of...
Personally, that wasn't the...
That's how you came here?
No, wasn't personally that way, but lots of Bulgarians, lots of Russian musicians, and most probably word of mouth and great experience here brought us many.
Okay. And of course the training in your part of the world, the training for musicians is so incredibly brilliant. I mean, the musicians from your part of the world, from the conservatoires, are superbly, skilled, superbly trained, a very strong musical tradition, which fits into the fact that we're playing a piece of music from the same part of the world.
That's the most...
the same neighborhood, so to speak.
And it's really talked to us because it's folk songs, we are from Slavian, is that correct to say? Slavian nations. Yeah. Bulgarians are Slavian nation, Russians, Czech, as Dvořák. So it is very close to our heart.
Okay,
the tunes,
fantastic.
the atmosphere, the colors.
Yeah. It's okay, brilliant. Okay,
And yeah.
it's all there. It's all happening in the music.
Yeah.
And now you have a French husband, Stéphane, who's a brilliant percussionist as well.
Yes.
And I know you have many of your family and his family from all over the world watching this evening.
I
That's the
will
thing
check
about
on
live
location.
streams. Would you like to welcome them?
I just want to say hello to all my friends and family watching us tonight from France, Swiss, and Bulgaria as well.
Perhaps you can welcome them in each.
Bonsoir, la famille et les amis. Je vous aime, vous me manquez beaucoup. Je joue pour vous ce soir.
Can I say something
Yes,
in
of
Bulgarian
course.
for my
Yes,
parents?
yes.
Здравейте и много сме щастливи и горди с Рали, че можем да ви забавляваме тази вечер и наистина се надявам да ви хареса. Ще го свирим за вас. Благодаря.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so now the music that we are going to play, the trio by Antonín Dvořák, a Czech composer, or Bohemian composer originally, as you mentioned. This is really one of his most popular works, and really, as I said, one of the gems of the trio output repertoire. Dvořák composed it for himself to play. He played it on the final tour when he left his homeland to take up a position in New York at the New York Conservatory as a director, and he went on a 40-concert tour. The piece was a great success, and he said that he wrote it specifically with the idea in mind that it featured what he called light and serious characters, a light and serious nature. It is based on folk tunes of his country, and the idea Dumky, plural of the word Dumka, refers to dreams or fairy tales, as you said, relatively, yeah. So it's a lot about, there's a great deal of sense of storytelling. There's a sort of sense of narrative, as words are very popular at the moment, but a great sense of someone telling a story, sort of a once upon a time. You know, this begins with a great sense of anticipation, and these tales conjure up great excitement from very slow, expressive moments into great dances of frenzied joy. And you'll hear this contrast in so many types of music from this land. If you think of Hungarian rhapsodies of Liszt, for instance, these very slow introductions, very sad, a lot of solitude and a lot of lament, sadness, and then at a flick of the switch, the spark ignites and the rhythm builds slowly and slowly until there's a big explosion. And this is why this music is so popular. Yeah. It has all these beautiful melodies and so many contrasts of rhythm and so many contrasts of energy and style, and it's really beautifully scored for the instruments. Each instrument has a unique character, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit as well. We're going to play, the piece is written in 5 movements, and the composer directs the performers to play the first 3 movements without a break. So that's sort of a very substantial first movement. After that, we are going to have a little break, and we're going to talk to you some more, because this is a live stream. This is a home event. We hope you're all settled in, comfy at home. We settled in here. You'll see that we've got the barks are already settled in. We've got Granny Lulu, and Frida's joined us. I'm surprised Frida's here, because Frida doesn't like the sound of the piano. She might get up and leave as soon as I'm playing. For those who've been asking about Frida, I know many people have been following Frida's progress. She had a prolapsed disc and had surgery on her back, and was unable to walk for several weeks. And miraculously, she's had wheels to help her along. And miraculously, last Friday, she suddenly started trying to get up on her legs and walk. So for the last week, Frida has been making incredible progress. It's been very difficult for both of us, both my partner Barry and myself, for the last couple of weeks to see Frida in such an incapacitated state, but really fantastic to see how she's making progress day to day, one by one. Every day she just gets stronger and stronger, and she's just walking so beautifully. It's going to all be okay. So we're very, very excited about that. So what a great possibility to share this special day on the Saturday evening. And there are more special things coming up. There are more special reasons for today. So we're going to launch straight into the music. This is the first 3 movements, the trio in E minor by Antonín Dvořák, the Dumky trio. And also, before I go, just like to add, we have also special assistants this evening. We're very happy to welcome back Kevin Liddell, who is assisting on the sound. But we've got an extra sound component to balance or to work with the 3 instruments. And of course, Barry is controlling the camera work again. So we invite you to sit back and enjoy the presentation that we and them produce for you. Right, well, how are we all doing? That's the end of the first three movements. Sounding great. Thank you very much. Thank you again for joining us this evening. If you're just joining us now, we are performing. I'm joined by Ralitza Macheva and Ralitza Pechoux, violin and cello, as the trio Sofia. We've been playing together for some time as this ensemble, but we've been working together for many years. How many different things we've done together. Tango ensembles and Baroque and orchestra concerts. It's been amazing. It's always wonderful to be part of all the musicians with the KwaZulu-Natal Philharmonic Orchestra. So we've just finished the first part of this evening's work. That was the first three movements, played continuously as the composer requested. Dvořák requested that these three pieces be played attacca, one after another. So it formed quite a substantial, almost like a first movement of the whole trio. And I find this music particularly fascinating because, and quite extraordinary the way it's composed and the way it's written, in that unlike all other trio music, and I've played a lot of trio music, normally with most trios, all three instruments play together. Everyone plays at the same time, and everyone's part of the same texture. But with this music, Dvořák has this incredibly fine sensitivity where he often asks the musicians to play one by one. I mean, even at one point when I have just one line and just one note at a time in my right hand, I mean, it's very rare in any music to have something so simple, and the violin plays by itself and the cello plays by itself. Sometimes violin and cello play together, you play double stops, sounds like your little string quartet together. Of course, in my very beautiful solo, Granny Lulu decided to do a walk around, a walk around of the studio. So that was the clip-clop of her heels. Thanks, Lulu. That was very sweet. Her nails, at least, on the wooden floor. But she's back ensconced in the spot where she's going to be spending the rest of the evening with Wendy, who's giving her a good lick on the forehead. Don't you think it's amazing how these pieces, they're written with such finesse? You know, there's such fine textures, and then we all get together and have a big party, and then it all dies down to these it's a rare thing. It's very rare.
It's quite difficult also to adjust quickly for some changes. We start together, and then it's all of a sudden very soft, and then next three bars is super loud and exposed, and you're just alone. And it is quite difficult and challenging in that direction, but it's
well, I think it's great. I think that's the exciting thing about the music, and I think that's why I think our working with both of you has been so interesting, because we've really embraced that delicacy, those very delicate moments. You know, I think a lot of musicians are like, no, we have to play very strong, we have to play to the audience, and it has to be big. But I think we've captured something very intimate and very sensitive about, I'd like to think, about
and
the
it's
music.
what we do, if you notice, we never play the same way twice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's important.
Okay, let's do it this time differently, and let's see how it goes.
That comes with experience. But now you've both have such a huge amount of experience. I've played with you, and you've played together as the Gypsy Strings, a string quartet with your husband on percussion as well. String trio with Anna Maria, the Italian Anna Maria D'Andrea. And I've joined on some occasions. It's a great party music of tangos and popular classics. But then you've also both played in the Baroque 2000, or I know you've, Ralitza, have played a huge amount. I mean, you've led them now for a number of years, and you're also involved in Cape Town Baroque.
Yes. Yeah,
how did that come about, and tell us how that informs your other music or what you've learned through that?
It was a love that actually came since I came to live in South Africa. I've never actually studied Baroque music back in Europe. And slowly in South Africa I got contaminated with so much enthusiasm. Contaminated.
I like that word.
Sorry.
That's a good thing. It's so positive.
Yeah, it's a popular word nowadays. Yes, slowly but surely I got into falling in love with Baroque music, and it's a huge part of my life here in South Africa. And yes, I'm lucky to play with Baroque Orchestra in Cape Town. And with them we have a wonderful collaboration with European musicians, which is very good and very exciting. And yes, that is Baroque music, and we play with Baroque instruments,
That's the
with
thing.
periods. We try to be as much informed, historically informed. So it is.
That's
really
important, yeah.
important.
That's great.
Good.
And then with that, you've done a number of live broadcasts or recorded broadcasts with them in
Yes,
Cape Town.
yes,
Yeah.
we did a lot.
Is this the first time you've done a live stream for both of you?
Yes, it's the first time.
Absolutely.
Well, it's going great. You're handling it very well so far.
We try. Yeah.
Great stuff. Okay, well, you ready to carry on? Shall we try? We're going to continue with the rest
Yeah.
of the Dvořák
Yes.
Dumky trio.
Let's fun. Another
Here we
3
go.
minutes.
Here we go.
Thank
give ourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much. Brilliant. What beautiful music. What a great opportunity to share some wonderful music with you. Thank you so much.
What's the best in this music is it brings hope.
Yeah.
Despite all the sadness and the sorrow and drama, it's always ends up with hope.
There's always a hope, yeah.
Always
I think it's one of the great powers of music, is that it's able to reflect all the sorrows and many sadnesses and many difficulties in our lives, and then it's able to transform them and show a way through and show a way beyond that and take you on a journey beyond that space. It's been really lovely. Thank you so much for playing, for coming up from Durban.
Giving us this opportunity.
It's been
really
super.
a treat.
It's great. You've done brilliant. Have you enjoyed it?
Oh yes, you can see.
Very good. Now, I was just thinking, actually, you mentioned in the beginning that you were from Pleven.
Yes.
And I know someone else who's from Pleven.
I know.
My very good friend Maria Dobreva,
Hi.
who I know will be watching. Maria, good
Hi,
evening to
Maria.
you. And Maria's a very good friend. And also, I'm not sure if they're from Pleven, but our friends George and Atina. And they went back to Bulgaria, and who knows, they might, I think, Atina watches regularly on Facebook. So good evening to you if you're watching, and all our Bulgarian friends, and also your friends in France and Switzerland and your family. It's really great that they can enjoy to see this opportunity of music. Now, I can see, okay, we've got Wendy and, you see, they're enjoying the music. There's Wendy and Lulu and Frida's having a great time. Just Lucy's missing this evening. So, as usual, that you, a request that if you are able to support us and if you are able to buy a ticket or make a donation, we really would appreciate it on this particular occasion, because we have, of course, extra musicians and we want to be able to reward our musicians generously, and extra technical support and extra microphones. And we really would appreciate if you're able to support us. If you're not supporting us already, or if you've really enjoyed this music, I know that this is live stream number 72. Can you believe 72 live stream? And you, as I said, you are the second guests in the whole. So 70 hours audience have sat through and listened to me. We certainly will. We certainly will. But I'm just amazed that everyone's sat through all 70 hours of just me on my own. So if you'd like to see more guest musicians, please do come along and support us. And I mentioned earlier the other reason we have a very special, apart from our fabulous guest artists we have this evening, our other special day that we have today. We have a very special day because it is Barry's birthday. Now, I know many of you have been hearing me talk about Barry, who's been running the technical show and running the cameras for such a very, very long time. And so happy birthday to Barry. We are actually going to play Barry a little birthday track. He doesn't know this. We've got a special birthday item to play. And happy birthday to you, Barry. And I'm sure everyone's loving. There, it's finally everyone can see what Barry looks like. And that is Barry. It's his birthday today. Thank you, Kevin, for supporting there. And happy birthday to you, Barry. I hope you have a super day. Here's a special piece for you. Barry. Of course, it would help if I had the right part in front of me. I think I had your violin part instead of the second violin part.
So.
I think we just realised that. Oh, just shows rehearsal helps, or sometimes it doesn't make
Sometimes
any
helps.
difference at all. It's not going to help. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed this different selection, the guest artists. Thank you once again. Ralitza.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much for
you,
joining
Chris.
us. It's been really
It was
wonderful
really a
to
pleasure.
share this music with you. And I hope you at home have enjoyed a beautiful selection of really lovely sounds. Thank you to Barry on the technical side and Kevin on the sound, or technical side together. Barry on cameras, Kevin doing the sound. And thank you both for all of your support for the last couple of weeks. It's really been amazing. Last couple of months, what an incredible journey. We look forward to having more guest artists. I know that Aristide Duplessis is coming in to play a Beethoven concert. Beethoven, you'll see, is behind me. Someone said he was looking a bit green. He might have scurvy. It's not that. He actually is just green because he came out of the garden. Beethoven's been sitting in the garden and he turned green with all the rain and he's covered in moss. He's come up into the studio to share the music with us for this Beethoven month. We're going to have Beethoven in every program except for this evening because we're only playing Dvořák. And we look forward to seeing you in our next stream. We're going to play out with a little improvisation as usual, and we are going to do something which we've never done before, and that's we're going to improvise together as a trio. So let's see what happens. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Why not?
We should open
It's
the champagne
very
before
baroque.
that.
Yeah. Here we go.